Hey everybody, welcome to another What Sold video. My name is Bob. I'm the Rocket City reseller. We sell plush and toys, and we're going to tell you what is selling currently. Today is May 10th, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And we want to show you exactly what we are picking up and what it's selling for. So if you're interested in seeing how we turn $17 into $353, almost $354 in 2 days, you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. Onto the video. All right, y'all, glasses switch. These are the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. If you're a content creator and you want to find out more about Meta Ray-Bans, make sure you check out the content. We'll do a video on that here soon. And we've been using these for about probably 6 months during the content creation, and I think it's working out well. I just wanted to come on camera, let you guys know who I am so you can see me. So if you see me out and about in Alabama or Tennessee, which is where we normally source, be sure to say hi. I want you guys to get comfortable with seeing me on camera. Also, I want to make sure that you guys are seeing the items that we're picking up and why it is important to source the way we do if you're into plush and toys. All right, this particular item is a pillow fort. There's a tag. Okay, so pillow fort does sell well for us. They normally are weighted, and in this case, this guy is not weighted. But Target Pillow Fort is one of those brands that does very, very well. This guy sold for $19.99, and it took about 5 days to sell, and it sold on eBay. So anything Target, Circo, Cloud Island, so all those brands have a good resale value in the market. So be on the lookout for your Target Pillow Fort. And it doesn't matter if it's alligator, if it's a dino, whatever the case may be, it's going to sell and it's going to sell well. All right, guys, be on the lookout for that. And we're going to continue on with the video. All right, so here's another great sale. H&M Home, we've had this conversation before. If you're not new here, H&M Home is one of those ones you're going to always want to pick up. So there's a tag here. Let's see if we can get that on camera. There. And there is a creator, lover, somebody out there that wants this little man. He's going to be off to his new home. He sold for $25 in less than a month, and he sold on, looks like he sold on eBay. So make sure it doesn't matter. The size does not matter. Collectability matters. Cuteness factor matters. All the things. This guy checks all the boxes. Be on the lookout for H&M Home. We sell a ton of this stuff. So keep your eyes up. We were just talking about H&M Home. I just wanted to show you what I mean by always picking them up. Here's another one right here. Same puppy that just sold for $25, just hanging out, waiting for the next sale. And that's the power of reselling once you find trends. And if you didn't know, I am a software engineer and data scientist who also resells, and I am great at predicting trends in plush and toys. And I'll give you tips and tricks along the way. So make sure you're following and liking and subscribing. We are back, and this Douglas dog sold on Whatnot. And apparently Whatnot just integrated with Nifty, so we've been cross-listing all of our items over to Whatnot, and Douglas always does well on Whatnot. This Douglas St. Bernard sold for $25. We priced aggressively. He does have a few condition issues, if you haven't noticed. He's not in the greatest shape in the world, but he is also very sought after. So if you find the bigger dogs like this of Douglas, you could definitely sell something like this for more, like probably upwards of maybe 50, maybe 60, possibly more if it has newer tags. So just be on the lookout for your larger Douglas dogs. This fine gentleman is off to his new home, and we appreciate y'all. All right, our next item is, well, I don't know what it is. It was listed as a adorable kawaii plush toy, brown and tan, or brown and teal rather, stuffed animal, and it sold for $15 in 4 months on Mercari. And how cute is this thing? So if you guys know what this is, leave it in the comments. But either way, we only paid probably 25 cents for this, and it sold for $15. And be on the lookout for anything that's kawaii or as adorable as this little man. He's off to his new home. Appreciate you guys. All right, we're back with the next item. This is actually an Aurora baby item. It's a pink puppy. Her name is Daphne. And She sold for $25. Actually, she sold for 23. My mistake. $23, and she sold in 15 days on Poshmark. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. So this is the behind the scenes for this what's selling video, what's sold video. And just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into what is actually happening here. So these are the items we just got done pulling. This is my tripod and camera setup. And what I've been doing is actually this is all listed and has been cleaned, photographed, bulk generated by Nifty, and then listed. So this is all done. What I've been doing these past 2 days is taking items, going through them, and fitting them where I can inside of our inventory control system. There's been a lot of questions. I did a video yesterday regarding how we get this done. So I'm just going to answer some of those basic ones. How do you know where to put the item? So basically it's based off of two things. One is category and the other one is space. So when I go through 325, for example, this one is what we consider character. So think like movie characters like Minions, things like that. And also something that might be considered like a Snoopy, Sonic, that type of thing. So what I'll do is I'll go through here and I'll see if there's room. 325. I'll pick a similar item and we'll get an example. Here's some Pokemon. So if there was room for this in here, I would find this listing in nifty.ai. There's a space for the SKU. I would go ahead and take that, put 325, put this item in 325 and put it in the SKU in Nifty. If you haven't heard of Nifty, it's tripled our business. And we use it to cross-list to platforms like Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy. And I can't say enough about it. Code Rocket City saves you 15% off your first month with nifty.ai. I totally think you should cross-list regardless if you use my affiliate link or not. I'm not here to push that, but I'm here to push the idea of diversifying your portfolio and reselling. And you're going to thank me later. All right, we're going to continue on with the video. All right, we're back and we are actually in the garage now. If you're new here and you are not familiar with the garage, we'll take a look around. It is absolutely terrifying in here. I need to really get in here and clean. It's almost too bad for me to even be in here, quite honestly. And the fact that I let it get this bad, publicly shaming myself on camera, so that way maybe I'll do something about this. So busy. Y'all, part-time reselling. This is it right here, the real. Like I always say in these videos. So this next item is a Cozy Hugs Rainbow Plush. Let's talk about it. So here it is. It's actually weighted, believe it or not. And there's the tag right there. Cozy Hugs. And this one sold for, sold for $11.26, and it took about a year to sell on eBay. I struggle consistently with some of this stuff and always want to try to reduce, reuse, and recycle and try to keep this stuff out of the landfill. The problem is when do you say enough is enough and draw the line? Because it is a business after all, and there's only so much space. So if you're struggling with that too, know that you're not alone. And if it's really speaking to you here, that's how you know to go ahead and pick it up and hold on to it until someone else who really, really needs this or wants it comes along and buys it. In our case, we have time, space, and the resources to do that model. Not everybody does. So this one didn't sell for a whole heck of a lot, but it did sell, and it did sell in a year. Sold for $11.26 on eBay. All right, we're going to keep it moving and get on to the next item. All right, here's that behind the scenes, what's going on in this garage. Our son's in the middle of graduating, so there's stuff in here from graduation. There's boxes I need to tear up and tear down. All these totes here. We recently reduced our stock, and we have extra totes now. Boxes that need to be broken down. So might keep, might not. You get the drift. It adds up quickly, so be better than Bob, the Rocket City reseller. So this is the area that we're going to be going to next. For those that think that I'm hoarding the Fisher Press Loving Family, I have listed it. It is right here. And we sold like 3 or 4 different pieces. So not a hoarder. I'm a reseller. I'm not triggered. I'm just saying. What else we got going on in here? Our shipping station is always in constant disarray, so I didn't even qualify this anymore. Our tripod for our video that we're currently doing. So you get a kind of a back and forth of idea. So a lot of times you're not seeing me, but you're seeing the item, which is probably why you're here anyways, because this is a what sold video. I also like to make this a hybrid so that you can see what the real is regarding reselling and what it takes and what that might look like for you and your family. Obviously, you can be more organized than us. Some people see these videos and say, I can't believe how organized you are. That always is really, really interesting to me because sometimes I don't feel like I am. But I suppose it's just levels of controlled chaos when you really think about it. So 259, let's call that room. Remember all those items we talked about earlier in the video? I'll definitely be coming out here and attacking this guy and getting some of that stuff put up. So it looks like we got some room. That's good. We're selling stuff. Our sell-through rate for this weekend was 30% of the items that I listed, which is great because I listed I want to say 80 to 100 items this weekend. And yeah, so we're going to keep this video going and we're going to pull our next item. Be right back. All right, our next item up on the block is this Gund Eunice. I see what they did there. Gund Eunice hand puppet plush. It's a ewe sheep. Lamb is what we have in the listing. $25 in 1 month rather on Etsy. And let's take a look at the tag so you guys can see. Gund. And they usually put this item number. So when you're listing, if you want to put the Gund in that item number, that'll help the buyer find the item that they're looking for. A lot of times they'll know the item number, and it'll definitely help with your SEO, which is your search engine optimization, which is what eBay and others use to find items on the internet. So Eunice is off to her new home. Again, she sold for $25 in about a month. And yeah, so we're going to keep this one again moving. Eunice says hello and goodbye. This is where we got Eunice from. There are a lot of items in here that are worth talking about. This is another pillow fort, and as we mentioned, another pillow fort sold in this video. We've sold this fine young gentleman multiple times, and he's probably like 20, 25. That's just one item in here. Look at this Minky Dot Duck. How adorable is that? That's probably another 20, 25 there. And, stuff like this is probably 10 or 12. And then we got all kinds of cute little dolls. Some organic plush. If you're not tracking organic items, there's a lot of children out there that can't have anything other than organic because of allergies. What else have we got in here? We got loveys. Different loveys sell for different prices, anywhere from 10 to 12, all the way up to 50. This really depends, or more. This one is a Jellycat knockoff, and it's by Aurora. Look at that. You wouldn't even be able to tell that wasn't a Jellycat unless I told you. So those are some of the items that are in this actual container where Eunice was. And let's go ahead and keep it moving. All right, 258 is our next contestant up for grabs. Oh, wow, it's right on top. How cute is this, y'all? So the way it was listed was like chunky, round bear. Chonky. Not chunky, chonky. And let's see here. This little chonky guy sold for $17.76 in 5 months on eBay. Again, just because it doesn't have a tush tag per se, shouldn't hold back your creativity. And everybody likes a chonky plush, especially the Rocket City reseller. I love these guys. So yeah, be on the lookout for your chonky plush. They sell. This one sold for $17 in 5 days. Or sorry, 5 months. On to the next. All right, y'all. I am back. The wardrobe change is actually hot here today in Alabama. It's about 80 degrees and beautiful day. Again, it is Mother's Day, May 10th at the time of this filming. Not sure how these will come out in order, but if this doesn't come out for a couple months, you know exactly what that means. So this next plush is actually a Destination Nation, and it is sold for, it's a white spotted snowy owl. Okay. So there's its tag right there. That's what you're looking for. This one sold for $15 in 3 months on Poshmark. And you can't sell more than just clothing on Poshmark if you didn't know. So be on the lookout for your destination. It sells, and it sells well. All right, on to the next one. Our next item is a fox. It is, according to our listing here, was listed as cute and cuddly kawaii fox plush. So why that is, it does not have its tush tag. And Google Lens wasn't much help. So if you know where this guy's from, it almost looks Disney or some sort of movie plush. And this one sold for $27 in 3 months on eBay. So there you go. $27, 3 months eBay. Kawaii looking fox plush. Leave in the comments if you know where this guy's from. On to the next. You ever notice when you're doing something, you don't hear a lawnmower until you start recording? I swear, as soon as I started recording this video for y'all, every neighbor in the neighborhood turned on their lawnmower. So that is a thing. It just happened. Our next one is going to be in 151. Let's go ahead and put some of this stuff back. So this is some of the behind the scenes that I usually cut out of here. You guys don't look and see my struggles. Is there a better way? Sure. Is there a way that gives me as much space that's better? I don't know. Leave it in the comments if it applied, but listen, this is what we try to do with shelves. And we can sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, right, in a row here. Whereas I can fit 6 if I do this. Now, is it easier to get them out? Sure. Is it worth the space that you're losing over the convenience? That is ultimately a personal question. So that is my logic. I'm not sure how you feel about that. 151 is in another area of the house. 193, 151, 152. Looks like we're going into the house, back to the AC maybe, for a little while anyway. And then we're off to the shed. And I'll give you a sneak peek into the shed area. There it is right there, yo. That's full of plush too. So if you're new here, you're not going to want to miss this one. All right, I'm back with Abby Kadabi. Here she is right here. Abby Kadabi sold for, let's see here, she sold for $25 in 10 months on Poshmark. She's a Sesame Street Abby Kadabi plush, fairy wings, flower dress. Pretty good and accurate description. We found her multiple times. She'll always sell. 10 months. I'm surprised she actually lasted that long, quite honestly. A lot of times, as soon as we list these, they actually sell and sell right away. So be on the lookout for Abby Kadabi. She's a crowd favorite on Sesame Street. If you know, you know. All right, for this next one, I'll give you a good example of why you got to be careful. So Nemo set sold, and there's multiple Nemos in here. So not necessarily a bad thing, but just be careful when you're pulling your plush. If you're doing a similar model like ours, get into the weeds really quickly if you allow it to. This one sold. This is a Disney Nemo plush set, obviously. There's a larger and a smaller. And I think, yeah, really, really cool plush set. And clownfish are absolutely amazing creatures in general. So there's like a few things going on that's great about this. $15 in 9 months on Poshmark. Poshmark really showed up for us this weekend, quite honestly, and kind of saved our bacon. I don't know. eBay seemed a little slower than normal, which is what I've been hearing across all social media platforms. So I'm not sure how true that is for a lot of things, but I think it's more so right buyer, right time, and right platform. So another example of why you should be cross-listing. American Greetings Love Bug with zipper pouch. This one's a cute one. Love bug right there on the side. Ladybugs are awesome creatures, and until they start eating your roses. Anyways, yeah, you can put all kinds of treasures in this guy. So American Greetings Ladybug sold for $17 in 3 months on Poshmark. Like I was saying, Poshmark really showed up for us this weekend. Get on those cross-listing platforms, whatever you choose. We use nifty.ai. Code Rocket City, of course, saves you 15% off your first month. And that's this Ladybug plush is onwards to its new home. Recalling that we made $353 and turned that from 17. So $17 invested total and made that much money. So plush can sell if you have the time, patience, and space. On to the next one. All right, guys, I'll give you one guess who my favorite Disney character is. All right. Anyways, on to this video. So I picked up recently an entire bundle of these, someone's entire collection of lions. And this one's a Boyd's. The Head Beam Collection is what it's called. The tag is right here. And it also had a swing tag, which is also helpful, which probably likely helped this guy along. He sold for $17 and it took about 8 months on Etsy. And in the plush world, an 8 month sale is really not uncommon. They're considered long tail. What that means is the time it takes for them to sell is a little bit longer than other items specifically. So plush can be that way. So if you're wanting or thinking about chasing plush like us, just know that it does take a little bit of patience to get these guys sold, but the return on investment is incredible. So there is that time, patience, and space is all you need. And I'm going to show you the rest of his collection in just a minute. Okay, so that person's collection that we were just talking about, this is some of it. And these were all at the Goodwill bins, donated obviously at the same time. There's an Aurora. This is a TY. Here's another one. That is Applause. That's vintage. This is a Gund, rather large Gund. What's this? This one is a classic by Aurora. Really nice. I think this is another TY. So you guys get the drift. They keep on coming and coming. We were just pulling tie after tie. Like some of this stuff is so vintage and 90s. So someone was an avid collector. It's kind of sad, but I'm glad that we were able to save this one from the landfill. Like I said, remember, this is a hustle with a heart. Reduce, reuse, recycle is our business model. And we make a good profit doing that. So definitely something to consider if you're on the lookout for a side hustle. All right, we are back with the next sale. This one is a Disney Aristocrat Marie plush, white cat. And this one didn't sell for a whole heck of a lot. This is one of those plush bobblehead guys. So it wasn't worth a lot to begin with. Maybe paid a nickel. This one is going out of here for $15 on Poshmark. And yeah, so would I pick up Marie again? To think about that one is to think about very saturated for some reason. She is one of the aristocrats, that are very overproduced. So maybe some of the team I would pick up, maybe not Marie. On to the next. All right, y'all. We are back with the last pull of the video, and this will be saved for last. This is actually the bolo of the video. Serta Comfort Sheep. This is the Sealy Serta Counting Sheep. There's numbers 5, 44, 58, and 75 in here, and they sold for $60 in 5 months on Posh. And obviously, you sell more than just clothes on Posh, so be on the lookout. And they're usually worth a good penny if you put them together. I've sold this particular lot or something similar for upwards of $120 on other platforms. So just know that if you find the right ones, they can get up there pretty high. Collectability is what it's about in plush. Also, emotions. You're selling emotions and you're not really selling items. Just keep that in mind as well. It's one of the few categories left to have that connection. So just want to remind you guys of something. If you can't be good, you got to be good at it. We'll catch you on the next video.